Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shannon if you're new here, and we are just sitting down to do a little makeup, and I thought we could do a chatty get ready with me because I feel like it's been a minute since I have sat down and filmed something, so we need to do that. I feel like it's been forever since we've caught up, but yeah, so let's get ready. Remember the last time I updated you guys on things, but currently I am taking this week mostly off from work to kind of just explore some other interests that I have, and also kind of like build my dream life. I feel like right now I don't have any goals I'm working towards, so I need to kind of just think about, okay, what do I want and where do I want to go and all these things. So I'm taking this week off to do that, and I've also just been trying out a new medication for my anxiety and depression, and that was actually really terrible. So I literally stopped taking it yesterday. Just stopped taking it yesterday because I was like, I cannot do this anymore. It was just making me so much more sad and irritable, and it was, the goal was for it to do the opposite of that. And I was kind of feeling like, okay, maybe I don't even necessarily need to have like another medication to like stack on to my other one because it has been working for me, but I was just kind of, wondering if there was anything else out there that could maybe be better for me, because I don't think the one that I'm taking is like perfect either, but it's comfortable for me because I know it. And I always get really nervous about trying a new one because I'm really scared of like a situation like this happening. But you know what? We learn, we live and we learn, and I have a doctor appointment on Thursday to check in with them about how that new medication is doing, and yeah, I don't know if we'll try another one or not, but at the very least I will be able to give her some feedback on how I was feeling. Today's the last day of the Sephora sale, and I don't have any like skin makeup that really matches, so I've just been using my Tower 28 concealer, and I don't know if I want to pick one up because I literally have so many other foundations, but nothing that really like matches perfect right now because I had a lot of them from the summer. Or I guess I could just self-tan and then it would match me again, but yeah. I only got one thing from the Sephora sale so far, which I might go back today and get a couple things because I went yesterday and was just trying out some things and I was like, ooh, I really want that. A lot of the Patrick Ta stuff, I was like, wow, I might need that. But what I did get is this Kulfi mascara because I have been using the e.l.f. lash extender, and this is like a dupe for the Thrive Cosmetics mascara, but I hadn't been really loving it. Not to brag, but I do have like naturally really nice eyelashes, and that's one of like my favorite features, and that mascara was just like not doing me any justice. So I was like, okay, I think it's time to branch out and try something new, and the sale is the perfect time to do that because there's not like a ton of tubing mascaras. There's definitely more than there used to be, but there's not a ton out there that you can try. So I did a lot of research, and this one had seriously like the best pictures of like, okay, that's how I know my eyelashes can look. with the right mascara. So I was like, let's try it out. And I went to Sephora with no mascara on yesterday, and then I put this on when I got home, and it was perfect. Like, I am obsessed. Which I thought I heard that this brand was also being discontinued, so I really hope not, but we will deal with that if that happens. So another thing I'd really like to get from the Sephora sale would be a good exfoliator, but my skin is so sensitive that I haven't really found one that I like. I've heard that mandelic acid is really good for sensitive combo skin, so I would be interested in trying one of those. But I just need to see like what they have. It is truly insane how much storage I've used up on my phone, so I need to figure out how to do something about that, because I like don't have any room to film on either phone. I have a work phone and I have my personal phone, and I have no room. So I was looking at getting some sort of flash drive, hard drive thing for my phone, and maybe that will be the solution to all my problems. One can hope. But if you have any recommendations, comment down below. Please help a girl out. I also just feel like my makeup, I've been doing the same makeup for a long time now, and I need to switch it up. I'm getting bored, so there's that. My therapist also has me reading the book The Mountain Is You, and I think that that's been like a lot for me to process, if I'm being so honest. And it's about how like you're self-sabotaging yourself in your life and your healing journey, and I just am feeling very called out in it, which I think is good, like I need to be, but also it's hard because I'm like, okay, cool, now what do I do with this information? Which the book will go more into it from what I've read. But yeah, it is just a weird feeling, because I think it's just bringing a lot of things to light. I just feel like things have been a little weird, and I don't know if it's just, you know, not having a goal I'm working towards, feeling like I need something new. I definitely feel better today. I just like talked to Dan last night about everything and how I'm feeling, and it's always so interesting how when you say things out loud, you're like, oh, okay, like it kind of takes the power away from it. So I do feel a lot better after that. And I think also just stopping the medication has been already really helpful. But yeah, I feel like I don't know what I'm saying, but I know what I want to say, and it's that I'm trying to like make a change in my life, and I don't know how that's gonna look, and I don't know what the end result is going to be, and I don't know exactly what the process is going to be either, because what I want to do right now is content creation, and you have to like show up and like do this as your job for a long time before it becomes your job, which is, I think, great, because it shows you, okay, like how much do you really want this? But also it kind of feels like, okay, sometimes I'm not seeing the reward from it, you know? And it makes it hard to keep going, but I think that I also really need to take a step back and acknowledge like everything that I have done, which I never do. I never acknowledge anything I've done. So the other day I was at the salon and I was like, okay, It was beautiful and sunny, and it was just me. And I was like, let me take some after videos and photos of the salon, because interior design is one of the things that I want to explore more. And I was like, this would be good for a portfolio, one. And two, I need to just actually appreciate the work that I did and be proud of it. And I want to post that online, because I have people, you know, clients come in and they're like, oh, what did it look like before? And I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of like never gave you guys like the end update on it. So I want to do that. And I also feel like I'm just transitioning my Instagram and my online platform a little bit and figuring it out as I go, which is tricky because I don't like not being good at things. And I put so much pressure on myself to be perfect at things, because that's what I needed to do as a child. I needed to be good, and if I wasn't good, then I was punished. So I think that that's also something I'm overcoming, or at least trying to, which maybe that's like so deep, but it's the truth. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to know if you also feel the same way. I think another thing is that, like, my generation in specific too, everything feels really heavy. Like, I don't like to get into this mindset, but it's like, okay, it is hard for a lot of people to afford a house, to go on vacation, to do like these extra things. And if you have a goal and you have a budget to stick to, it kind of makes me feel guilty, because I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't like go buy like that new workout set, or go buy an extra blush that I don't necessarily need but I want, you know? But at the same time, you gotta live your life. So just trying to find a balance in that. Yeah. And then also, if you kind of like want to start over and start a new career or whatever it may be, a new side hustle, I think also just with the work that I do, it's like your income fluctuates so much that I'm like, okay, it's great if I could like have a budget and know I get this every month, but that's not always guaranteed. So it kind of makes it hard for me to like wrap my head around it, but I do want to be better about it. And there's just a lot going on in the world. So, and even if you don't engage with it, because I try not to, it's definitely like shoved down your throat. Like on my YouTube homepage, it's always like stuff about the news, whatever. I need to like block certain keywords so that I don't get as much suggested to me. But even if you don't engage in it, it's just like you do know, like, okay, you've heard about what's going on. Like, there's not really any way to completely bury your head in the sand. And it just feels like, okay, things are getting worse. So, but I also don't want to feed into that mindset. I don't want to encourage toxic positivity either, though. So yeah, we're all just trying to figure it out. And one of my affirmations is that you don't have to have it all figured out today, which is so true. But this also brings up another really important point, which is that I feel like I will put things off so long because I am like, no, I need to know all the information possible so that I can be an expert at it from the beginning, which is not realistic. But that's what my brain wants me to do. So if I'm like, okay, I want to do an online course, which I had thought about doing earlier in the year, I will be like, okay, well, I have no idea where to start, and I feel like my information that I do have isn't valuable, and blah blah blah, like who's gonna buy it, whatever. Maybe it's just my limiting beliefs talking me out of doing things. I think also just the experience that I had this year with like leaving the salon I was at and opening my own, it was honestly very traumatic because nothing in my experience, and it could be, you know, I'm trying to be self-aware and I know I play a part in it too, but whenever things end in the beauty industry, especially like as a hairstylist, it never ends well. No one ever wants to see you succeed. Even if they say they do, they don't, because at the end of the day, everyone's looking at you as competition. And it's really hard. It makes it really hard to build a community. And sometimes the only way you have a community is if you are kissing someone else's ass. And I just can't do that. I also, you know, maybe it's just the Gemini in me, but I will cut people off so quickly. So if you do something wrong in my eyes, I'm like, okay, bye, you're dead to me. And then that makes me feel more alone. And then I wonder why I feel isolated, you know? But I also, I guess if I ask myself, you know, do I really want to extend an olive branch to certain people? It's like, no, I don't. I really don't, because you wronged me and I am a people pleaser. So if you finally crossed a boundary that was like bad enough for me to cut you off, it must have been really bad. So that's just kind of how I view things, which I don't think is very healthy, but that is definitely how I operate. So I would like to be better about that. And then on top of that, you know, I then opened my salon and had 2 girls working under me, and then that didn't work out, which I think I just took on way too much at once. And I think that I'm like some superhuman who is immune to stress, which is not true. And I don't know if I just like reached this point of burnout where there's no return. Like that's kind of what I'm concerned about. But yeah, the 2 girls I had, I've already talked about this on here. But the 2 girls that I had working under me no longer do, and I feel like that also didn't end well. Like one of them was so mad and disrespectful, and then the other one I just distanced myself from, because I think deep down I knew it wasn't the right fit. I think that's really hard for me because I know what it feels like to not be wanted or accepted, and I never want to make someone else feel that way, but I ultimately do, especially if I end up just distancing myself so much from them. So yeah, I don't know, very long-winded, heavy, chatty catch up with me, but that's kind of what's been on my mind, and I feel like this is how it's been for the last few months, but I'm trying to figure things out, and I think I'm just in a transition period, and it can be really uncomfortable to be in that transition period, but it's also uncomfortable to stay the same your entire life and never grow. So hopefully this can be a reminder to someone else out there, and maybe you'll take something away from this and learn from, my experiences. I don't want to call them mistakes because there's good and bad aspects to everything, but I think they're more so learning experiences. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that this resonated with someone, and if it did, comment down below. Tell me how you've been feeling lately. I'd love to hear and chat with you in the comments. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.